So the gap or joint in your home where where a foundation wall meets your slab or concrete floor is called a cove joint. You might also hear it referred to as a cold joint. In this video, I'm going to show you how to seal that joint.
I'm sealing this for air. In my house, I have some high radon levels and I want to reduce any areas where soil gases might be entering the house. If you are sealing this for water, the process will be similar, but you may use a different sealant or perhaps hydraulic cement and even a combination of the two. Surface prep is crucial whenever you are working with sealants. If you apply a sealant to a dusty, dirty, loose, wet, contaminated surface, it will not adhere properly. I used a flathead screwdriver to kick up some of the dirt and debris, and I sucked it out of the crack with a vacuum as I did that. I installed some foam backer rod. The backer rod is there to help manage the depth of the sealant in this joint. Foam backer rod comes in round shapes. You can sometimes find it in triangular shapes as well. You'll want to size it in the ballpark of about 20 to 50% larger than the gap. This is because it is held in place by pressure fitting it, which is why I'm inserting it here with a flathead screwdriver. You can typically find it available in diameters of anywhere from 1/4 inch up to 6 inches. You'll see that I tuck it in just below the surface plane of the slab, so my sealant will fill in this area nicely. If you use a flathead screwdriver or tool that is too sharp, you can puncture the backer rod or sever it and break it. The key is to find the right angle that you're not going to puncture it and then roll the screwdriver in off to one of the sides and kind of tuck it in as you push it in. So sealants are meant to adhere to two substrates. You can think of a substrate as a surface for our purposes, stretching and compressing as they move. We don't always like to admit it, but the things in our house move over time. They shrink, they expand, they separate, they diverge into one another. The edge of the slab chipped away easily and created more loose debris that I needed to remove before I was ready to apply the sealant. I chose to use a silicone sealant for my application. However, acrylic latex, butyl rubber, hybrid polyether silicone, and urethane sealants will also adhere to concrete. Now, a word of caution when using silicone. Most silicone is typically not recommended for adhering to concrete, and it's for this reason. It's that most silicones are acid curing, and so they are not compatible with concrete because concrete has an alkaline pH. So the acid pH that the silicone needs to properly cure will be neutralized by the alkaline pH in the concrete or brick or other masonry, and this can cause it to not cure or adhere properly. So for cement surfaces, they do make a neutral curing acid-free silicone sealant, and that's what you should use if you choose to use a silicone. Titebond, and I'm sure there are other manufacturers that do make a sealant specifically for radon. You, of course, always want to keep your work neat and tidy looking. This isn't a joint that we need to be too worried about, though, since it won't be visible when the room is finished. You can spread the sealant out with a tool, a plastic spoon, a popsicle stick, or your fingers. You'll see I didn't wear gloves when filming this, but it is a good idea to prevent dermal absorption, which is when your skin absorbs substances or chemicals. So absorption is a route for chemicals and toxins to enter the body bloodstream and cause potential harm to other organs, which, that's not a good time. But this is especially important if you are working with polyurethane or urethane-based sealants, which can expose you to isocyanurates. I can never say that word. I can spell it, but I don't know how to say it. Isocyanurates. Although that's by no means the only harmful chemical that you'll want to avoid. And that is how we air seal this joint. I'm hoping that this is going to stop some radon from entering my house, but we'll see. Turns out in the end, I actually end up tearing all of this out to install a radon mitigation system, but that's a video for another topic. If you want to see that, though, I'll have that here on the channel at some point. And with that, may the joints in your home stay nice and tight, and the joints in your body, well, nice and loose, I suppose. I also have this mud sill or sill plate that I'm going to seal as well while I'm at it to prevent exterior air infiltration.